Hi, everybody. It is episode 571 of PodQuest.
Hey.
It is Wednesday, July 23rd, 2025. I am Chris. With me is Walnut.
Yeah, I'm here.
Drew went to an event of some sort.
Lucky him. He's going to see My Chemical Romance.
Is that what he said he was doing?
Isn't that what he said?
No, I don't think so. I think that's not till August.
Hold on, I gotta look it up now because I thought that's why he said he wasn't going to be here.
The York State Fair to see Good Charlotte.
Oh, Good Charlotte.
That is very different from My Chemical Romance.
You know, it is very different, but also kind of similar. They came out around the same time. But
one of them is good. The other one is Good Charlotte.
One of them is good, and one of them is questionable. Okay, and like Good Charlotte has some good songs.
They have two. I will give them the benefit of the doubt. They have two decent songs.
I haven't listened to Good Charlotte since when they first came out, so.
But it's the right call.
Yeah, I when I was young, when I was a kid, I didn't like them just because like I thought I didn't hate like the goth style and dress and everything, but I thought the way they were doing it, especially in their first couple of songs, I was just like, this is too much. This is too much, and I hate this. No, Good Charlotte.
Good Charlotte was
my chem. No, but they had like they were, for at least Lifestyle's version of Famous, their trailer for that, or not trailer, their video for that. Chase, please go lay down. They had like the big long spikes, and they were incredibly over the top, and like I'm not saying I hated it, but I hated how they did it. Like they were more punk emo than they were goth, but it was still like the way they represented as like punk emo was incredibly over the top, and I hated how over the top they were.
Yeah, I mean that's fair. Like Good Charlotte had a couple of songs that were okay. I actually don't really care for Lifestyles of the Rich and the Famous. So there's that. Like probably their most popular song, I'm just like, this is fine.
Yeah.
They were just that. I listened to a couple of their songs, but like they were just never really like on my radar. But like I do like My Chem. I didn't listen to a ton of them past the Black Parade. And even then, like to be fair, like I've only listened to the Black Parade a couple of times. Like it's I Brought You My Bullets, You Brought Me Your Love, and Three Cheers are the two albums of theirs that like I legit want to listen to.
Yeah.
But like I have tickets to see them in Philly in August, and they're playing the entirety of the Black Parade and then like a bunch of like their other songs. I saw, so that tour just started, and I saw like I think it was the first date they were playing Vampires Will Never Hurt You off their first album, which is one of my favorite songs by them. So but they didn't play it the second night. So I'm hoping that by the time they get to Philly, that is actually on the set list. Because like the rest of the set list, like of the non-Black Parade stuff, was actually like it was like a good smattering of songs. So
nice,
yeah. It's funny. I will have seen My Chem twice at that point. Once at the North Star Bar, and once at Citizens Bank Park.
Yeah. So once when they were new, and then once now when their tickets are $1 million.
Yeah, in the span of 20 years, which like I understand, like 20 years is not a short time, but like. It'll be about 20. It'll actually be about 21 years between the two shows. They went from headlining the North Star Bar to headlining Citizen Bank Park.
Yeah, I mean, 20 years is not a short amount of time, but at the same time, what they did over the course of 20 years, it is a short amount of time because they weren't after like the album after Welcome to the Black Parade. They weren't really very active. He started writing comics and things like that, and it was less. They didn't do a lot of music. They had a resurgence, 5-6 years ago when they reformed?
Right before COVID.
Yeah. And that's when they blew up. And that's when they started selling out stadiums. It's like literally...
No, they were doing some of that just on the Black Parade. Like the Black Parade is where they exploded. So like realistically, they went from playing like little venues like North Star to playing like legitimate like to like stadium and arena shows. Versus like I feel like they almost skipped the like the Electric Factory era.
Yeah.
Sort of thing. Or like the Electric Factory is actually probably on the bigger side. Like they didn't do like those in between ones like the TLA. which is kind of weird when you think about it. But I'm
I
actually
mean,
looking
if you're
at
if you're
their...
comparing like venues to stadiums and whatnot, Electric Factory would not be compared to the bigger side. It would be so like the North Star Bar is on like the little side, not the
Yeah,
local side, the little side. Then you have like your TLAs and stuff like that. After that, then you have your Electric Factory, and
exactly.
then you have stadiums.
Yeah, no, exactly. That's what I mean. Like
Yeah,
they skipped like the TLA union transfer sort of like era of stuff
yeah.
and kind of exploded off of their... So I think it's technically their second major label record, but
Hmm.
third record altogether. Because I think I Brought You My Bullets, You Brought Me Your Love was like self-released or like indie label or something. And they actually only released one other studio album. It was Danger Days. I thought
Yeah.
they had one other one, but it doesn't look like it. And that was in 2010. So like they really didn't. Like they did not do a ton after the 2010s, and then they came back and they came back incredibly hard. Because it looks like 2013 is when they kind of like went on hiatus, and then it was 2019 is when they announced that they were going to do that big stadium tour, and then COVID happened and it got pushed for like a year or two before they finally were able to like reschedule it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm looking forward to that concert. That should be a fun time. We
Nice.
have a bunch of them in August, just like by happenstance, because it seems like, and it's all like, it's unfortunately like all bigger outside ones, which I'm not thrilled about. But we have My Chem in Citizen Bank Park, and then we've got we're gonna go see, who was it? Simple Plan, Bowling for Soup, and someone else at the Skyline stage. And then we have Dashboard Confessional and Goo Goo Dolls tickets also. Technically, like it's not at the Skyline stage, but it's at the Man, which is like the same location.
Yeah.
And I think there's one other one in August actually. Maybe not. I don't know. We watched back in June when the DC Warp Tour happened. They streamed a bunch of the stages on Amazon for free. And we watched it, and like Simple Plan actually put on like a really good set. Like I honestly wasn't sure like what they would be like live, but like they seem like they're fun live. And we saw they were on tour with Bowling for Soup, and I'm like, well, we know we like Bowling for Soup, and like we know Simple Plan songs are at least catchy, so like let's go. And this was like before we had like signed for House, so so that should be fun.
Yeah. Nice.
Yeah. Anyway, though, Rich, what's on the agenda?
On the agenda, there's we're going to be talking about this little known movie called K-pop Demon Hunters.
Actually, I have no idea what this is.
That's a shock because it's all over the internet right now.
So I've heard the name. I don't know what it is beyond that, though.
Oh, just get ready. Cobb, you played some Donkey Kong Bananza, and I technically beat Celeste, even though I still have the last level.
So that is DLC that came out like a year later. So,
but it is like it's called Farewell. It's the finale of the game.
It is.
Yeah.
It's just it's like a return to the mountain versus like you completed the main story.
Well, I mean, technically, Chapter 8 was the same. You go back a year later in Chapter 8.
Yeah, that's true. But either way, you completed the original game.
Yeah, I completed the base game. And I started playing a new game called Romancilvania that we'll talk a little bit about as well. That's about it this week. Like, it's not the craziest week.
Yeah, I saw there was a Pokemon Direct or something, but I have yet to get a chance to watch it.
There was. Don't worry about it. They basically talked about, like, I watched it yesterday, and they talked about the new season of Pokemon Concierge. They talked about Pokemon Champions. They talked about their MOBA. What was that called? Pokemon
I know
Unite.
what you're talking about.
And like all their mobile games they talked about. And then they just talked about ZA, which is coming out soon. Nothing really major. The only thing, and go to my Discord, go to the gaming section and look at it, they showed off the abomination that is Mega Evolved Dragonite. I hate it. It's ugly. Yeah. And that's about it. Like you don't really need to watch it. It's not a big deal.
Okay, that's fair.
If there was like an announcement for a new Pokemon game, I would tell you to go watch it right now and then we can discuss. But there wasn't like anything like that. They dove into ZA basically. Which I mean, I want to get and I want to play it. I need a Switch 2 first.
I mean, Switch 2 is fun. I like it.
Yeah, I want one.
But talk about K-pop Demon Hunters.
All right, K-pop Demon Hunters is great. It's an animated movie on Netflix. It recently released within the past couple of weeks, like very recent released. I guess you could call it a musical. Like the whole thing is about a K-pop band, and basically throughout time there has been the equivalent of a K-pop band in Korea that used the power of music and friendship to fight off demons and lock them away from the earth. And they created this thing called the Hamnam, which is like a gateway that kept the demons out. However, they were able to like break through occasionally and stuff like that. And throughout the decades, like different, basically K-pop groups from back in ancient time all the way till now formed and fought demons while using music to cleanse the souls of humans and try to connect them so that they could lock the gateway for good and lock it gold. So this starts in modern day with a band with a group called Huntrax, and it's 3 girls that are world renowned and known worldwide. And the movie starts with them doing their last concert in a tour, in like a world tour, before they take a short hiatus. And the concert almost gets thwarted by some demons, but of course they're K-pop Demon Hunters and they're amazing, and they fight the demons off while jumping out of the plane to get to it's an amazing scene. The demons are on the plane. They fight the demons, and it's a private jet. They fight the demons. The plane breaks, and they just jump out of the plane without parachutes and just fly towards their stadium that they were flying right over, while fighting these demons and singing a song to fight the demons off.
Okay.
And then they get to the stadium. They're continuing to sing the song while fighting the demons in front of these people, and everyone's watching. They're like, "Oh, these special effects are so cool! It looks so real," because they don't think the demons are real, because the demons are poofing into non-existence once they get killed. It's great. It's ridiculous. It's silly. The whole movie is very tongue-in-cheek. But it's actually gotten me like into a little bit of K-pop. Like the music of this movie, which although yes, it was created by Sony, I believe is a primarily Korean cast, is written, directed, and produced by Korean. Like it's all legit Korean K-pop stuff. It's not just like white people made it. Which is great. I looked into the cast. I was like, I just need to make sure it's all Asian people, but like specifically Korean people and stuff like that. And it's got a bunch of people I do not know, with the exception of Ken Jeong. He plays
nice.
He plays their manager basically. His name's Bobby, and he's amazing. He's hilarious. And then the movie, like as they're doing their final performance, they start to see gold in the gateway that they create that no one else can see, only the Demon Hunters can see. And so they decide to, like, after that show, release their new single, which is supposed to connect the world all together, called Golden, which is supposed to make the gateway golden and lock away the demons for good. All meanwhile, over in the demon world, there was someone who was part of the demon world who was a performer back in his time, centuries ago, and he decided that to stop them from turning the Hamnam gold, there's only one way to fight this: to create a K-pop boy band. And so they create a demon K-pop boy band, and they go up to Earth and they do their first performance, and they start showing some like what's the word, like some competition between Huntrax, and they were the Saja Boys is what their name is. They're putting some competition and some like they're making, like, they're taking some of their fans away. They're making the Hamnam weaker because of what they're doing. And it's just so hilarious because it's just like the demons are like, you know what, let's just get on their level and let's become worldwide pop star superstar sensations. There's a whole part of the main plot where one of the characters actually has demon blood within her. She's one of the demon hunters who has demon blood within her. The other two demon hunters don't know this, so that becomes a whole big thing. They try to make a diss track, and then the one who, about like how shitty demons are, the one who has demon blood in her, she's like, I don't know, you're kind of talking about me, but no one knows that because you don't talk about it. And like there's a whole, it's a whole big thing, but the music itself is so incredibly catchy. It's pop music, of course it's going to be catchy.
Yeah, and like for what it's worth, like K-pop, like for better or worse, is very catchy even when you don't know the words.
Yeah, but like they primarily sing in English, with like Korean put throughout. It's primarily in English. But it's great. It's got one of the coolest characters, Derpy Tiger. Not coolest, but like he stole the show for me. He is such a silly little cat, like derpy demon cat tiger thing that like at one point when you first meet him, he accidentally knocks over a potted plant, and that's all that's on his focus is getting the potted plant to stand back up. So the character fixes the plant and he looks and steps again and knocks it over and then continues to try to lift it again. Later on in the movie, that character accidentally knocks over like a trash can, and she's trying to hide Demon Cat from the other two demon hunters. And he sees the trash can get knocked down, and he like sneaks around trying to lift it. It was adorable. It's hilarious. It's like one of my favorite characters. The animation is incredible. It feels like it looks claymation, but it's all CG. It's not claymation. Like you can see the depth and roundness of the characters. You can see that like it is 3-dimensional in a sense. You can feel the 3-dimensional in it. It's not just all 2D. Which was like a really cool style. And like they went with like a bit of that like anime look and anime faces and anime silliness. Like I think it's just an incredibly fun show and a fun movie. And like
it's a movie, not a show.
It's
right?
A movie, yeah. It's like an hour and a half, something like that. Like you go into this knowing that it's just for fun and it's just silly and it's just like it's a little tongue in cheek and it's a little like it's not going to be heavy. It's not like the most serious thing in the world. It's like it is probably made for a little bit of a younger generation for sure, and for specifically K-pop. Like the demographic is K-pop fans for sure, but it had some pretty cool themes a bit with each of the lead characters, and it had an interesting story, and it was fun, and it had some really cool animations, some really cool fight scenes, and things like that. And it's one of a few movies that I'm like, I kind of want to watch it again after watching it. Like it's not like for me with this one, since it's sort of a musical, I can get out of it by just being like, all right, I'm just going to listen to the soundtrack real quick. And it's not like a big soundtrack. It's 30 minutes, something like that. It's not run by the songs, but the songs are a major part of it. Maybe it's more like an opera and less like a musical. But like it's like, yeah, I don't remember. I don't remember the difference between an opera and a musical, but it's like musicals, the songs are part of the story, whereas in opera, the songs just carry the story or something like that. So maybe you can consider it more of an opera, but it's like, cause it's like they're not actively singing during the songs going on. The songs are just going on while things are happening. Like they write a diss track called Takedown, and it's like a lot of the movie's about them writing that song and figuring out how to.
Here you go. Difference between opera and musical. Composition style. Operas feature complex melodies and sophisticated orchestration, while musicals blend song, spoken language, and dance. Performance elements. Operas focus primarily on singing and orchestral music, whereas musicals incorporate acting, dancing, and relatable narratives. Audience appeal. Opera tend to attract a niche audience interested in classical music, while musicals appeal to a broader demographic with popular music and engaging stories. Structure. Operas are typically more formal and classical, while musicals are often contemporary and accessible. Narrative delivery. In opera, the music conveys the depth of the narrative, while musicals often use a combination of dialogue and song to tell the story. These distinctions highlight the unique characteristics of each art form.
So I think by that final definition, the depth, like they're not using the music to convey the story. The music is just a part of the story.
Yeah, like
so
it's
like,
all music. A musical is both acting and music.
Yeah, so for all intents and purposes, it is more of a musical, but I feel like that maybe like with that final part of the definition, you could probably more so consider it an opera kind of thing. But like it doesn't you're splitting hairs as well.
Do they talk in it?
Yeah, they talk. Then
it is a musical.
Yeah. But yeah, it's just it's really fun. I want to say watch it just because it's like lighthearted and quick, but also after the reaction that your wife had to Despicable Me, I don't really know how your wife will respond to it. But also, I think it might be fun. It might be a fun, silly thing to watch.
So she doesn't generally dislike like Disney movies or like anime. Despicable Me 3 was just a very bad movie. I also thought it was straight garbage.
I didn't think it was that bad. I didn't think it was garbage.
I hated it. Like, it is one of the worst animated films I'd ever seen.
But yeah, so like I'd say give it a shot and check it out. Like, it's only an hour and a half long, and if in 10 minutes you're just like, all right, this isn't clicking with me, that's fine. But it's like it's got themes of like accepting yourself, accepting who you are, and who you were brought up as isn't necessarily who you always are going to be, kind of thing, and like your bloodline and your family don't determine everything that you are and stuff like that. And it's really, I loved it. I loved it, and I've already listened to the album, at least the soundtrack, at least once, maybe twice. But it's like it's all over the internet right now. It's a shock you haven't heard of it prior to today.
No. I have heard of it. Like, I have heard the name several times. Had no idea what it was. Didn't know if it was a show or a movie. Like, I knew it was some sort of like Netflix or Hulu or something. Like, I knew it was on one of them. I just didn't know whether it was an anime series, a movie, something strictly American. Didn't know what it was about. Didn't know it was a musical.
Yeah.
Though, like, the name kind of alludes to that, but like,
I mean, it's not. I like it would be hard to say that it like. It's not a musical in the sense of like La La Land or Greatest Showman, but music is a big part of it. Like, it's more of a musical in the sense of like a Disney film would be a musical, but like also not as much either. So like it's hard to fully say that it is a musical, but it is very musical that I'm considering it a musical. Let's just see what the big Googles has to say about it. Yeah, I mean, they consider it an animated musical fantasy. So, yeah, I guess you could say it is a musical.
I mean, it's the same way that, like, a lot of Disney movies are musicals. Like,
yeah.
You know, that they have enough songs throughout them that they are musicals.
Yeah. But yeah, I think everyone should watch this just because it's fun, and it's like it is another part of like representation you don't see a lot. Like we're getting a lot of K-dramas and Korean media out there. But, like, this is a big media company. It's a Sony Productions that did this. Like,
oh, okay.
The fact that it wasn't released in theaters is a little interesting, but at the same time, like, I think that was the better move. I don't think this would have done as well if it was released in theaters. I think it was as good as I think releasing it on Netflix was the best bet for it. And I believe there's rumors of potentially them already signing at Demon Hunters too. But yeah, it's just an incredibly fun and cute movie, and yeah, you gotta just see some of this animation. Like I can't balk enough about like the animation that was in this. It was really good.
Nice. Yeah, it's something like I might try and check it out. I don't know exactly when.
Yeah,
but maybe. Shall we move on to Donkey Kong?
Yeah, how's Donkey Kong Bananza treating you?
That game is honestly kind of delightful.
I want it. I want it a lot. I want it so bad.
I legitimately do not really know how far into it I am. I want to say I'm on the third world. The level structure is a little bit weird. Because like you're going deeper into the world. Like the whole story is you're trying to reach the core to get a wish granted.
Yeah.
And it starts out where you're in like the mines, mining bananas, and for whatever reason, like you're mining bananas that are actually rocks, and you're eating rocks that are bananas. So
okay,
real normal stuff. And like something like a thing happens. The mine kind of collapses. You fall like deeper into the earth. And you find this talking rock, which we know from the trailer is Pauline. And then you kind of end up in like, I guess I'd call it more like you have like your intro level, like that part leads up to like the title screen where you're in like the mine area. And that's kind of like where you learn some of the basic like movement stuff. And the game really is just destructible environment. Like the first thing I did was hit B or A. And he does like a ground pound and immediately like had a hole underneath me that I fell into. And you can just immediately start punching your way into walls and stuff like that. There are different material that like sometimes you can't punch through. Like if it's metal, you can't punch through it. If it's concrete, you either need like bomb stones or you need to be like the big wearer Donkey Kong to be able to just like punch those and break them. But otherwise, like in a lot of cases, like you can just kind of tear the fucking environments apart. And it looks like as you get further down into the world, the terrain will get harder because so far every world has like a little has like a star rating for the terrain. So I'm assuming at some point it's going to just become denser, and I'll have to make sure that like my skills to be able to like get into the ground are like up. Because you do have like a skill tree in this one that's banana based. Those stone bananas you find, every like 5 or 6 of them get to a skill point. And they're all over the planet. You get like so they showed it in the trailer. There's those like mini games that you can do where like some of them are actually like old school side scrolling like Donkey Kong Country style levels. Others are like combat ones where you have to fight enemies or find balloons or different things. Sometimes with a time limit, sometimes without. And usually in those, you're getting a banana for finishing it, and then you're also able to find like 2 or 3 others just if you like take your time and explore it. If it's a non-timed one. If it's a timed one, you're just getting the one usually. And then the bananas are also just kind of like all around the world, similar to in Mario Odyssey, the whatever the star things were in that game. I forget what they were called. But what were they, Rich? Because you just got all of them last year.
Power Moons?
Yeah. You know how like in Mario Odyssey, there's just like, Power Moons are just like literally like, oh, there's one on that hill over there.
Yeah.
The bananas are kind of similar so far in this. Like you might like walk around a hill and find a banana and you just punch it a few times and eat it. And then you get like one more like bit to fill up your skill point tree thing, whatever you want to call it. And the game does a nice thing where it recommends to you what to put your skill points in next. So like when it starts out, it's like, hey, you should put your first skill point in health. And then it's like, hey, you should put your next skill point in your power. And it kind of just like keeps moving on from there, but it doesn't force you to do that. Like from the very first skill point, you can actually put it in anything that only requires 1 point.
Yeah.
Which I appreciate. Because like, you know how some games when you're going through like the tutorial, it's very much like, oh, you have to do the skill that they want you to do first. Because it's like part of the tutorial. But yeah, and then there's not a lot of enemies in the game so far. They're around. They're generally pretty easy. You either punch them once and they're done, or you like pick up a chunk of earth and like chuck it at them or swing it at them, and there they go. There are bosses at the end of like the main levels though, which are generally part of like the bigger villain crew, and they'll be in some sort of, so far at least, they've been in some sort of like contraption that kind of builds and changes around them, and you get to hit, like you attack it, and as you attack it, you're like knocking pieces off of it, because that's kind of the whole shtick in the game is you like the environmental stuff.
Yeah.
And like it's actually really easy to kind of get overly confident with that, especially once you unlock your first like Bananza ability, which is like where DK transforms. Because when you do turn into like the big like Donkey Kong or whatever you want to call them, like you do a lot more damage So like hitting like these bosses, you're just knocking stuff off of them, but they still do have like encounter rotations where you really can't do damage to them in like certain phases of the fight. And if you're kind of just going full force on it, there's a chance that you're actually going to get killed by just not realizing that you're not doing damage to them anymore. Which I had that happen on the first boss because I didn't realize that was the case at the time. And then when I went back in and did the boss fight a second time, I'm like, okay, I can't just wail on it. I have to hit them when they go do the thing, let them kind of like stop, and then go hit them more. And it was much smoother the second time through.
Yeah.
But yeah, so far it's been really cool. The whole Pauline thing is incredibly weird. The fact that she was like a weird talking rock and then wasn't and doesn't seem to realize, like, she just became a girl and didn't, like, she doesn't reference being a rock at all. And like the personalities seem very different. Like, it's very weird. But her ability, like they showed in the trailer, is you hold a button and she kind of sings, and that helps to unlock certain things, or it gives you your like tracker on like where your next objective is. Yeah. So usually usually wherever you have to go, there's like the marker somewhere on the level, but it fades over time. So you kind of hit that button, it gives you the little like music note path pointing you in the right direction, and you see like the yellow marker out on the screen. Just to make sure like you're heading in the right direction generally. And then like so far, like the levels have like, there's a bunch of different environments to it. Like one level was very muddy. So like walking through it was incredibly slow. If you try to pick that earth up, it doesn't last as long for like hitting enemies. And even so you can do like Link's shield surfing from Breath of the Wild, where like with DK, if you pick up a thing of earth, you just hit the left trigger and he jumps on it and he starts like surfing on it, and you can actually speed it up by hitting Y. And hard earth lasts for a little while. It's still eventually like you watch it slowly get smaller as it deteriorates, but soft like muddy earth, like you barely get any distance out of it before it just like disappears.
Yeah.
And yeah, like I mentioned a little while ago, there's like these big stones that actually are explosives. So you can like go over and like rip a chunk of them off and then throw it at different stuff to either like take out enemies or knock down walls that you wouldn't otherwise be able to get through. Or if you're just like feeling a little like, I don't feel like punching, you can like throw it at the stuff that you're just trying to uncover.
Mm-hmm. Have you come up to any point or part in the world that was not destructible? Because I remember that was a big thing. It was like almost everything or pretty much everything is destructible.
Yeah, no, there are absolutely are things that you can't just crush. But mostly metal stuff. There is also most of the time, if you're like hitting down to like dig a hole, you'll hit like the bottom, and it'll usually be like metal or like a hard stone that you can't get through. There is like this purple and black substance that covers things that is like part of like the villain's thing. That you also can't break. You have to find like the source of it, and then between you and Pauline, you're able to destroy it. Like she sings, and then DK punches, and then it makes all of that go away, and then that earth becomes like usually destructible. And there's been a handful of other things that like you can't really break through, and like it makes sense. Like you can look at it and be like, oh no, this like I understand why I can't break this. But a lot of stuff, even like structures and things like that, you can destroy. And some enemies, or not, no, I'm sorry, not some enemies. There's a lot of NPCs in this game because like every level so far has had like villages and like people to talk to and all sorts of stuff. And you can go up to them, and if you accidentally punch them a lot of times, either they will go flying, which is funny, or they will high five you instead, which I thought was fun. Yeah. And it's a fun game to explore because it's not just running around like what is there. It's like plowing into things and digging under things. And there is a currency in the game. It's like these like gold piece things. And the quick way to collect them is like once you break stuff and they're on the ground, you do like a ground slap, where you just literally slap the ground once real hard. And that will anything in the radius of it will get picked up. So that also becomes like a radar ability or sonar, whatever you want to call it. So when you're in certain areas, you do that, it'll make objects in the ground or in walls like glow for a second. So you can see if there are bananas or chests or like any other sort of like worthwhile investments to actually go digging and stuff. Like I found 2 bananas underground in one level. One of them was in like a pipe, and I basically just like dug around until I could find like the entrance to the pipe, and eventually like got into the pipe and found the banana. And then the other one was like outside the banana underwater, and I kind of like dug under it because you can't, at least right now, I can't swim underwater. Mm-hmm. But like if you jump in the water or if you like come into water, you start underground or like under it. So I literally like came from like under to the side and punched it as I was floating up to get it.
And I guess there's no water physics. So like if you dig around and dig a hole under the water doesn't drain into the hole that you dug into.
So in this case, I don't think it did, but I think it was because of where I was too. Because most of the stuff you do doesn't seem to stay that way forever either. Like once you kind of leave the scene, it does like rebuild itself.
Yeah.
So it's not like it's not permanent changes.
Yeah.
But it is pretty cool though, like how destructible and open the environments are.
Yeah, I mean, but it might just be a me thing, but like that would be disappointing if there is no like real water physics. If I can like go to like say there's a puddle and dig completely around the puddle and the puddle doesn't expand, it just stays with its border. Like it would, to me, that's disappointing. But you couldn't tell at the point that you were at, so maybe the next time you play, test it out, see if there's water physics. Because I feel like it's 2025. You should be able to figure this shit out. Like,
it's also a Nintendo game, though.
Yeah, but like
they don't put that sort of thought into it.
But that's the thing, they do. If they're making a game where most of the world is destructible, that's absolutely something.
But you have to keep in mind, you can actually just destroy things and leave a piece of like a mountain floating in the sky.
Yeah, and it's like
that kind of destructible.
Yeah, and that's just. I mean, I guess I don't know. I hate that as well. I hate when in games don't have like it's. I would be fine if you have a little piece still connecting it, it won't fall. Like that kind of physics, like the weight physics is something I don't care. That like, all right, that won't take me too far out of immersion. But like if you have but also it's really dependent on the world. I'm sure there's floating rocks all over the place.
That's the thing. There's random things floating in the sky in a bunch of areas.
So like
you're underground and there's sky.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's any sort of like Journey to the Center of the Earth sort of story. So
I'm just saying, like you literally find holes to go to the next level, and sometimes it's literally like part 2 of the same world. Let's say,
yeah.
And the sky, it's the same sky when you get to the next level, like part of that world, but you're below it, and then you go through like a major pipe, and you go and you jump and you fall for a while, and then there's a new sky in the sky.
Yeah.
So like, it's wibbly wobbly down there.
Yeah. It's just when it comes to like rock physics and floating rocks, it's like, all right, if that's built into the world, that's fine. But if you have water physics and I can make a floating puddle of water, to me, I'm just like, that's a little. If I dig under the water should drain out. That the solve to the puzzle shouldn't be digging under the water and then floating up through the water. It should be digging under the water to drain the swamp so that you can jump in.
To be fair, I think the solve to that puzzle is actually coming back when I can go underwater.
Maybe, yeah.
Because like I have found bananas that I do not have ways to get to yet.
Yeah.
So like I definitely have to go. Like the idea is to go back to these levels to get stuff later. Yeah. As you unlock new abilities and all. But yeah, it's been a lot of fun so far. Like. I know people weren't 100% sure, like, if this was, like, a game worth buying a Switch 2 for. Because, like, realistically, there are 2 games for the Switch 2. There's Mario Kart and this. And this came out a month after.
Yeah, I mean, ZA comes out in a few weeks. Or in a week or 2. Like, it comes out soon.
Doesn't it come out in November?
I mean, there'd be no reason that they would have been doing. Oh, it just still says 2025, I guess. I
October.
guess they. Oh, well then, why did fucking Nintendo do? Why did Pokemon do a fucking direct about it?
Because that's what they do. They're going to do a direct once a month until it releases.
I mean, they talk. I guess it was because they were doing the Pokemon World Championship. But like, they didn't have to. They didn't have to spend that much time on ZA. They could have had ZA at the beginning and the World Championship at the end. I care more about the champion, which I completely forgot to talk about. But I care more about the World Championship at the moment than I don't want to get monthly updates about Pokemon fucking ZA. Like, I don't want to see fucking.
I don't either, but a lot of people do, and people are going to be mad if they just have this like bloatware stuff, like the Pokemon Sleep and Pokemon Concierge and all that shit.
Well, I mean,
people like that, but they want the mainline games, or not the mainline because EA is not a mainline, but like they want the game, like the big game.
But I mean, the direct was supposed to be because it was supposed to also be more about. They announced there's an amusement park in Japan that is getting a Kanto region section of the amusement park, like a Pokemon region, and it's going to have Pokemon throughout it. And then it was the Pokemon World Championships, which they spent a lot of time on talking about it. And then it was ZA, and it's like, you could have just front-loaded it with ZA and then back-loaded it with everything else that was more important, because ZA doesn't come out for another 3 months.
Yeah, I mean, like, I agree, but like that also just goes to like kind of drive my point. There are two actual like major Switch 2 games out for like the foreseeable future. One of them it took a month to come out. But like I would say like between Mario Kart and this, like both of those games are absolutely worth owning this console for.
Mm-hmm.
Like Donkey Kong feels like it could, like, this game could have easily been like the Mario game. Like it's polished like that. And it's got a story in a way that like Donkey Kong games don't often have stories.
Mm-hmm.
But reminiscent of like your 3D Marios. Like it's not like a super deep like RPG story, but you're seeing the villains like have little like side cutscenes between levels and stuff like that.
Yeah, it's not Donkey Kong Country, it's Donkey Kong 64 is what it is. I've never played Donkey Kong 64, but I know Donkey Kong Country, like, there's a minimum of a story, whereas this one, it's like there's actual, like, stuff going on, like, characters are actually interacting. It's not just, oh, you're going from world to world to world just because your bananas are gone.
Yeah, and in this one, it's more of a, like, Donkey Kong's working in the mines with all the other monkeys, and then, like, shit goes awry. And now they're trying to get to the bottom of the world.
Yeah.
They were basically told by the giant elder monkey that in order to get back to the surface, they have to go to the core of the planet to get their greatest wishes granted.
Interesting. Weird.
Yeah, I'm like, that doesn't make sense. But also,
why not just dig up?
Well, and that's the thing. Like right now, there's not a way for them to dig up because, like, once you get to these things, they're just giant open areas.
Yeah, I guess so.
Like, it's not like I can't reach the sky. Basically, like it's that far away. And at the same time, there's like the elevator, like the giant worm thing that will take you to different places. I'm like, why can't the elevator just take me up to where I was?
Yeah.
Like, that seems like a solution to this problem. Why do they have to stop at this level? Why can't they go up one more level? They all seem... Exactly. The roofs seem to be the same height in all these homes. So, I don't know. But it's fun. I'm enjoying it a lot. I'm going to keep playing it. I'm looking forward to seeing some of them. Because so far, I only have the first Bananza move, which is the like the big, like, hulky Donkey Kong. I'm looking forward to getting some of the other ones as I play. Oh, and before I was saying too, there's a currency in the game. These like gold pieces you pick up. Those are also what you collect to be able to transform. So you get like a little meter, and as you collect these gold things, it refills that meter, and then you just hold the two bumpers, and Donkey Kong like hammers on his chest and transforms with Pauline singing.
Yeah.
And I believe from the trailers, it looks like maybe the changing between the different ones when you want to transform, you're going to use the D-pad. But then once you transform, you get like an energy bar, and that just continually depletes. You can turn it off by just holding the button again, and it'll like kind of stop the bar where it was. But all you have to do is like collect more of the gold pieces, and they're heavily abundant. Like if you just dig into anything, you can usually find some. And it, at least so far, it doesn't take that much to fill it up. So it's pretty reasonable to do that transformation. You still want to be like, you don't want to just run around like that all the time, but like, you know, it's not a thing that you have to be super worried about like not having when you need it. And then the currency itself, like I had one instance so far where in order to progress the story, I had to pay some guys 3,000 of them to do a thing to basically like fix something for me to be able to like move on.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm sure stuff like that'll happen again.
Yeah.
And then I guess technically that there's also a currency with fossils. You use fossils to buy the clothing and stuff and like the colors for Donkey Kong.
Mm-hmm.
But none of those really like, I looked at the shop the first time it was available and was like, I don't really need any of these things right now. So I just kind of like moved on. But at some point, like probably the stuff that like improves like your swimming speed will probably be useful.
Mm-hmm.
So, but yeah, overall, really enjoying Donkey Kong. Looking forward to playing more of it.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
So do you want to just do a quick little wrap up on your time with Celeste?
Yeah, I mean, my mostly wrap up with Celeste. It's I was able to clear chapters 7 and 8, the last two originally released chapters of Celeste, on Monday. Chapter 7 took me 2.5 hours.
Sounds about right.
Which I was like, man, I was like, I went into it and I went into stream on Monday. I was like, all right, we're beating chapter 7, 8, and 9 today. We're clearing the game. And then chapter 7 takes 2.5 hours, and it's 9:30, almost 10 o'clock at night at this point, maybe a little bit later than that. And I'm like, honestly, it's after 10 o'clock. And I had like it's about 9:30ish. And I just beat it, and we get like the little wrap up, the story wrap up, and that episode, that chapter was great. It's because it's the one where you climb the entire mountain bit by bit, and you're climbing with your other self, and like working together, and they're talking to each other, and like they're apologizing, and like it's such a cute and adorable chapter. And like, I'll be 100% honest, I knew this game was like it's a queer, very strong queer representation game. Like it is like the queer anthem for anybody in LGBTQ, like in part of the Alphabet Army, because like it's like everyone loves this game. But I didn't realize fully that it was primarily to be a trans representation.
If I remember correctly, that is more subtle in the base game.
Yeah.
It is much more kind of front and center in
the last chapter, for sure.
In that farewell chapter. Because that came out after it, because Maddie, the creator of the game, she did not come out as trans until after the original Celeste, I want to say.
Yeah.
So like,
yeah, and so like I even had one of my followers come in, and she was like, "Hey, this is where I got my chosen name from. This is like the trans game." And I'm like, I didn't realize that. Like, I knew it was a queer game because Madeline, who's the lead character, was in a queer relationship, a lesbian relationship. I didn't realize that it was a trans game. And it's like, well, yeah, Madeline is actually is canonically a trans character, but you don't. It's like, I didn't get that at all. But you're right. Like, I don't get it until chapter 10 or chapter 9.
I believe too. If you play Celeste 64, in that one you find out that she is now dating the sister of your friend from the mountain, like the photographer
Theo's
guy.
Sister, yeah, which makes sense. It was so like straightforward of like, oh, you two will get along, you two are so alike that it doesn't make sense. Like, all right, he's setting them up. Maybe one of these days I'll play Celeste 64, but I still gotta beat the farewell. But so yeah, all of chapter 7, I was loving it. I was like crying. I was happy, sad. and I get through that, and I go into chapter 8 where they lead you in, and it's like, all right, well, now you need to go to get all the crystal hearts. So then I take the time to get the crystal hearts, and thank God you can jump into the game chapter by chapter and subchapter by subchapter. You didn't have to
Oh, I
do
forgot
each.
about that.
Yeah, you don't have to do each level all the way, and when you collect something, it's collected. You can then leave, which was nice. So that's what I did, and I went and I got all of the the hearts. Like it's even cool because you can in the last level to get the heart, you need to collect all the gems throughout the level. And you can go into it subchapter by subchapter for each gem. You don't have to do it all in a row. Which, like, it saves you a lot of time, because it went from being 2.5 hours to, like, maybe 20 minutes trying to get all the gems. But I finally got it, and it was, like, after 10 o'clock, 10:30. I'm like, I don't know, it's late, I should call it here. No, I'm doing it, let's get into it. And then 45 minutes later, I got done one of the funnest chapters. It was, like, such an interesting mechanic where you could only dash twice. You could only dash twice per screen unless you got a gem. And I was like, this is a really cool section. And I got halfway through it. I was like, all right, maybe I should break now. But then I got to the parts where, like, the lava and the ice were climbing and dropping whenever you were, like, moving around. And so, like, if it was a vertical screen, the lava and ice was coming up. And if it was a horizontal screen, the lava would come up and the ice would come down. And you had to, like, dodge it and activate switching from lava to ice at the right times. And I got to that point, I was like, I can't stop in the middle of this. I need to clear this section. And clearing that section meant clearing the level, which was fine. But I ended up being that level unexpectedly. And I Google, like, how long is the last level of Celeste? How long is Farewell? And it's like, it takes players anywhere between 4 to 10 hours. I'm like, fuck. All right, it's not happening tonight. It's not even getting started tonight because it's already 11:30. So I'm contemplating trying to marathon chapter 10. Just do it all in one go. I'm contemplating that. Or at least trying to, like, getting as far as I can before I can't anymore. And so I've made the decision that, along with Slime Rancher, because I've basically beat Slime Rancher story-wise, it's just playing the game now and collecting everything. And being a Slime Rancher, like, since I've done everything else, it's just doing all of the shit that you can do to get all the achievements and whatnot. I was like, you know what, I'm moving Celeste to my Sunday chill stream day. I'll play that for a couple of hours until I beat Farewell. I am not going to do the B-sides. I'm not going to bother with the golden strawberries. I'm not going to do any of that other shit. I'm just going to beat Farewell, which I hear is an incredibly hard chapter. And it's a chapter where, like, a lot of people end up learning a lot of the current speedrun skills because you need it in that chapter, supposedly. Which, God, I hope not. And so, yeah, I thought it was really good. I thought it was a really sweet story. I had a lot of fun playing it, a lot more fun than I was expecting, but it's because, again, it restarts you in the same screen every time you die. And that's what I like the most about this game. I don't lose muscle memory from attempting things because I'm on the same screen and I'm dying constantly right there instead of having to complete 4 or 5 other screens before getting back to where I was. Yeah, it's so good. It's so fun. That last chapter though, chapter 8, where, like, you can only do the 2 dodges per screen, was like that was interesting to have to figure all that out. And then the whole fire ice mechanic, I was just like, this is a really cool mechanic that you put into this last world.
Yeah, that I remember the end of that game actually being really cool. And, like, especially, like, at least for me, like, there were like a couple areas, like, before, like, the last world level, whatever you want to call it, that were just, like, excruciatingly hard.
Yeah.
And then I feel like that last one, like, everything just seemed to, like, flow nicer.
Yeah.
Like, I didn't struggle on any of it.
Yeah, like there was some very hard situations and screens throughout chapter 7. But chapter 8 you're right, like, it wasn't too incredibly hard. It was just, like, timing or just memory of, like, what's next and where am I going and what am I doing kind of thing. But yeah, it was like there weren't, as far as I remember, there weren't like too many screens that I really hated. The hardest part, in my opinion, of the whole game was in Chapter 7, in Subchapter 2, the city chapter, to get the gem. Like, I'm so mad at myself because I went the right way the first time, but I didn't go the way I needed to go to get the gem in order to get the crystal heart. You needed to do this jump up. Like you're in, I think it's like the third screen. You jump onto a platform which throws you up. You jump off that platform. You then have to jump and dash across to another platform and grapple onto it, and that one moves side to side, but it doesn't move until you touch it. So you then have to land on that platform, jump off of it, or hold onto it until it moves to the left and back to the right. And then when it starts to move, jump off of it to land on the other side. Then when it gets back to its base setting, jump off of that, gather the crystal, dash up twice, grab the wall, go up, grab that crystal up there, drop into this little hole that's just wide enough for Celeste with spikes on either side, or for Madeline, spikes on either side, dash twice into that hole to get a gem, to then dash twice up. Otherwise, you're hitting spikes, and then you have to reset that whole path. That was literally the hardest screen. Doing that, because I did it once and then had to go back and do it again. And I had people coming into my stream being like, "You don't have to do this. You know that? You don't have to." I'm like, "I do, because I didn't get the crystal, and I need to get the crystal." Well, to get the crystal, you just go to the end of the world. It's like, no, I need the gem to get the crystal heart. I need to do this. Like, I had to keep explaining, like, I have to do this. I can't not do this. Because then you go to the next screen, you have to make your way up, and then you go to the right, and then you have to drop down this little hole that is just barely as big as Madeline is. So what I did is I went all the way to that door, exited through that door, went back into that room, so that this way, if I landed on the spikes before that hole, I would respawn right next to it, and not have to go back through the room. But it was that one took me the longest to try to get that gem. And it was like, I did this once already. Why can't I do it again? And then like I ended up watching a video. It was like a 20-minute video on YouTube about a guy who has 1 million percented Celeste, basically.
Holy shit.
No, well, it's like I'm using 1 million as like just an over exaggeration. The guy, so there's a lot of things you can do in Celeste, and one of the things you can do is get a gold flag. To get a gold flag, you must do everything on your first run without dying, which also means collecting every strawberry, collecting all crystal hearts or anything like that, and getting through the level without dying. There's also, in World 1, was it World 1? Maybe World 2. I think it's it's World 1. There is a golden heart that you can get, or golden strawberry that you can get, by not doing any dashes throughout the entire world. So this guy did all of that across the game on all of the A tracks, B tracks, and C tracks. Did every level, and then got the golden strawberry on every level, which is doing every level again without dying. Everything was like, it was a brand new save that he did. He did that twice because he did it all like across 2 playthroughs. He did it all at 1 playthrough and then did the other part the next playthrough. But because the leaderboards for speedrunners wouldn't take that as a completion because it was across 2 runs, he then practiced and did it all in 1 run. So he beat the game without dying ever and collecting everything on his first run.
Absolutely insane.
Twice. I'm just like, I wish I could dedicate that kind of, like, I wish I could enjoy a game that much to be able to dedicate that kind of time to it. Like, I would never enjoy a game that much to be like, all right, let me perfect this game. Like, I'll platinum a game, yeah, for sure. I ain't gonna do something like that, like to get the golden flags and have to beat every level twice without dying. And like, if you die at any point in this run, you have to reset all of it. No, I ain't doing that. That's insane. That's wild. And then I'm just like, I've been seeing some of the mods that people make. Like somebody made like um, what was it? Like an escape room style, like puzzles to try to figure out how to get through each level, like each screen. I think he made like 20 screens or something like that, and it's each screen is a puzzle using different mechanics to try to figure out how to get through like each world. It was like an hour long video that I got like 10 minutes, 5 minutes in, and I was like, all right, I don't care anymore. But like the first level in particular, like you had to, it's using the mechanics of World 7, so you only get 2 dashes per screen unless you can activate any way to refill your dashes. And you had to activate some buttons to have the Theo Crystal moved, to grab the Theo Crystal, to bring it upstairs, to drop him, to then
Right.
apparently, huh?
No. I'm like
Yeah.
remembering this as you're talking.
Well, this is like a mod.
That sounds
And-
really familiar, though.
But like you put the Theo Crystal down, and when you dash after putting a Theo Crystal down, it will throw the Theo Crystal, and if a Theo Crystal hits like a Crystal Heart or something like that, it replenishes Madeline's ability to dash.
I
So
think
like
I watched a speed run of this.
and so that's just the first screen, and I was just like, this is
Was this like a full like a full game ROM or just a level?
it's a full mod of a set of levels that are
I think I saw a like at a GDQ or something they did this because like that sounds incredibly familiar.
let's see if I can find the video in my history. I'm gonna have to go back because I think it was yesterday I started to watch it. Yesterday. Let's see. Because if I can find it, I'll just share it with you. Yeah, here it is. Come on, where's the buttons? Come on. Oh, because I'm half screened, it doesn't let me have everything. Freaking screens. Share. Let's just send it right here in this little chat. But this video is. Oh no, that's not it. That's the one about the guy who. Oh yeah, that's definitely not it. That's not even the one I was talking about with the guy. Crazy. No, where's it at? Was it today that I was watching it then? Here we go. Yeah, apparently it was today. This is it. Yeah, the video is from a person called Parrot Dash, and it's I trapped top Celeste players in my evil escape room map. And it's 2 hours long, and so I was like, all right, I'm not gonna watch this whole thing. I'm not gonna care.
Yeah, I think I may have seen this at a like at a GDQ or something, or maybe I followed somebody after they did like a Celeste run and like saw it. It looks and sounds very familiar.
Yeah, check it out. But yeah, I was shocked how much I enjoyed Celeste. We'll see how much I enjoyed after I get into Farewell, though. We'll see. But other than Celeste, the other LGBT QIA game I've been playing is a game called Romancilvania.
Which sure is a thing.
It is. So while playing, I learned that it was a game that was funded on Kickstarter. It was funded back in 2020, at the end of 2020, and it is a side-scrolling platformer like Metroidvania crossed with a dating sim. And so you play as Dracula, who for centuries has lived alone because he got broken up with. And he's not done any slaughtering, he's not done any killing, he's not been Dracula. He's just lived in his castle, let it get destroyed and let it like turn to shit. And so he gets invited to poker night out with the boys. And it was a ruse all to get him to leave his castle so that they could renovate it and set him up in a reality show dating like bachelor dating game, dating show. And so the Grim Reaper is the host. And he's like, you have to romance some characters and you have to give them black roses to kick them out as you're trying to find your new partner. Some of the characters that are in this game, like starting off, you get Medusa, but when you meet her initially, Medusa is an ex of yours, and when you meet her initially, she only has her head, not her
Okay.
body. Huh?
No, I said okay.
Yeah, like she's only her head was cut off because in mythology her head gets cut off, but it's still like I guess not alive, but can still be used. So it's like just Medusa's head, and like she actually asks you to go on a quest to find her body. You
Interesting.
have a genie called Vess whose bottle has been cursed by someone, and so she was like she's not really been able to live in her bottle, and she's forced to have her master, but her master doesn't like ask wishes or anything like that. I feel very bad for Vess, honestly. She's the one I'm romancing the most. And then the third character is from the short that I released today. His name is Brocifer. He's a devil. He is completely fucking naked, censored around his waist. And he is a fuckboy. And every character when you first meet them has like a title card and like their name and like what they are. So like this way you know, like Vess is a genie. Medusa is Medusa, but she's only the head or whatever. And then it goes Brocifer, the Jersey Devil. And I was like, fucking of course he is. Because even throughout, he says at one point, he has to do his, I can't remember the full acronym, but in the Jersey Shore, they had their acronym GTL, Gym Tan Laundry. Well, in this, it was like P something something, pump something something. But it was like pump as in pumping iron, but also pump as in having sex. Look, it's very tongue-in-cheek, but some of the like innuendos are not innuendos at all, and are just incredibly straightforward of let's fuck. And it's a little. This is the second dating sim I've ever played, and like the scripting for it is like it's too straightforward in a sense. Like the one of the characters I met, her name is PSL. PSL, Pumpkin Spice Latte. She is a pumpkin witch, a very voluptuous pumpkin witch. And she calls herself a switch. Like so in BDSM, what a switch means is somebody who is both dominant and submissive and can switch between both roles. And that is her entire personality. And it is incredibly straightforward. And like no one is like that. No one's gonna sit there and be like, "Oh, hey, hot stuff, I'm a switch. What's up?" Like it felt like it was written by someone who doesn't know BDSM, and it was
That
just
seems about right. Yeah.
another character you meet like she's a succubus. Like the whole mythology or mythos around a succubus is she has sex with them with a partner and then rips their head off and kills them. And so to invite her into the mansion, you hook up with her first, but she doesn't kill you because her plan was to hook up with everyone in the mansion and kill them. So they put a chastity belt around her.
Of course.
Yeah. So like some of my problems with the game, like I'm not saying it's necessarily bad, but I'm saying like maybe the writing and like the delivery of some of the stuff is pretty poor. First of all, like you don't get the full cast in chapter 1. And since this is a like a Bachelor-esque dating show, you have to vote someone out after each chapter. Well, for chapter 1, you meet 3 people. You have to vote somebody out. And then in chapter 2, you get 3 more, and you have to date 2 people out. You have to kick 2 people out. But it's like, all right, well, I just met, like, in my opinion, I should have met the entire cast before I started kicking anybody out. You should get to meet the entire cast, start romancing the entire cast, and dating them and talking to them. So that this way you know exactly who you want. Because, all right, maybe you connect with somebody immediately. Like, right now, I connected primarily with Medusa and Vess. So it's like, all right, I don't want to kick them out because I have a connection with them. So like I have more of a connection with them than I do these two or three other characters that just came into the game. On top of that, like you had Alyssa, who is the succubus, because they forced a chastity belt on her. She was having a shitty time. So it's like for me, I'm like, all right, well, I'm just gonna fucking you can leave then. Like I'm happy to let you leave because you're having a bad time. Like it's kind of like to me, I would be a dick to keep her there. It just didn't feel right keeping her there. And then like I ended up kicking out PSL because well, she is like the writing for her was just bad. And so now I have the two of the three characters I started with that I have most connection with, and then a new character that I barely know who's kind of a dick named Saul because I had to kick out two people at one time when I just added three people. It's weird, and I feel like if you want to set it up in this style of a Metroidvania that has like the Bachelor theme, everyone should have been introduced right away before you do any eliminations. Because the eliminations also lead into, like, if you eliminate someone before you get their relationship high enough, you can't upgrade certain skills of yours. And I didn't find that out until after I already eliminated somebody. And to be honest, if I had known that, I wouldn't have eliminated them because for Brosifer, if you get your relationship all the way up, you can upgrade the strength of your sword attack. So it's like, had I known that, I would have kept him even though he sucks. Because I use the sword more than anything else. It's like the better feeling weapon. So like it kind of sucks that I had to like kick them out so early. The other thing is, seeing as how this is a dating sim, your responses should have some effect on your relationship level. But
It should, yeah.
But the way it
Telltale
plays,
figured it out in 2011 with the Walking Dead game.
yeah. The way this plays is you can only increase your relationship level, it doesn't drop. So, yes,
I don't like that.
If you don't pick the right like chat dialogues, your relationship level won't really go up. But it also doesn't seem like the characters are really opening up to me. It really feels like they all just have their set dialogues that you can have. And if you hit the right choice, it fills a meter. Because filling up the relationship meter with each character gives you points so that you can upgrade your character. And that's it. So it's like you don't lose if you say the wrong shit, it doesn't drop, and if you say the right shit, they're not remembering it. So it's kind of just like at this point, I'm just sweet talking someone, and maybe if I get to a certain level, maybe some special action may happen or something like that. But for now, it really feels like as long as you talk to them and don't kick them out, you can date them and live with them. I don't know. It's a mechanic that like doesn't really make sense to me and click with me. I'm about halfway through. The other thing I really didn't like was they introduce the Helsing family, and you could choose one of three Helsings that could potentially join your castle. But when and it's like the rival, and this would be great for ratings. But I was just like, no, I don't. I like as I'm talking to them, they're just complete dicks, and I'm like, no, I'm not even going to bother with this. Plus, they didn't have any voice lines. Every other character is voiced except for the Helsings. So I was like, I'm not going to bother. I don't want to have to read their dialogue. And so it gives you an option to keep them or kill them. And I was just like, I'm done with them. I'm killing them. So like it was weird decisions like this, which it's obvious this is made by a very small team. They only have one other game on Steam right now, and it's a game called is it Perception or something like that? Which is a game about being perception. It's a horror game about being blind, which I think I remember hearing about.
It does actually sound familiar.
It has mostly positive reviews on Steam, but like overall, the script isn't the best, and I also just don't like. I wish it was randomized who you would meet each time, which it doesn't seem like it is, because each person, if you go to talk to somebody, each person is in a specific spot in the mansion. So at the beginning of the game, it's like, all right, go meet your first three castmates, but there were only three people I could meet. It wasn't like, oh, it's random. So right now, like I'm playing a dating sim that has both male and female lead character, and I've encountered technically now potentially three males, but only two male characters, and primarily what is it? Medusa, PSL, Alyssa, Vess, four female characters, and then it was Brosifer and Soul, two male characters, and then the Helsings you can pick. It seems like it's probably male, female, or non-binary, or just trans, because it was three potential characters. One was obviously masculine, one was obviously feminine, and one was more of a non-binary in the middle. And I was just like, all right, like there's no like so far I've only met women primarily, and it's like this is just it's very overloaded, top loaded, and you're not giving me time with the men because the first guy fucking sucked, and the second guy like I only kept him because he wasn't as bad as the other two, and it's really just two female leads that I really care about, and it's just it's weird. Like maybe like they didn't get a lot of fun, like they got enough. They got 400 and or 216,000, and they needed 200,000 to make the game. So like they got just enough to release the game. So I guess maybe they didn't really have the time or whatever to like feel like putting in more things. And like as of right now, and I'm halfway through the game, there aren't really a lot of like dating mini games. It's just dialogue. There's nothing else with it. It's just talk to them, do a side quest potentially, and talk to them some more. So hopefully, like there's more to it. I mean, it's got all solid reviews on Steam. So like, no one's, as far as I can tell, of all-time reviews, no one's like said this was a necessarily bad game. It's mostly positive all time, but it might just be everyone who funded the Kickstarter who. Oh no, we got a not recommended right up top. So, but it's mostly positive, not all positive. So it's weird. Some of it just really doesn't. Some of it doesn't click well. The script primarily is just like it feels like you're someone who thought you knew BDSM but don't. And then like some of it is just like like, and I looked into like who the writers were. It's like on their Kickstarter. I'm going through it, and like I don't want to say it sounds like a dude who's never had sex before writing this because the narrative director is a woman. So like, I don't know. Maybe I don't know. It just feels very off. Feels very off. But yeah, it's interesting. It's not bad by all means. It's not bad. It's just like there's just some things that I wish were better. I wish my dialogue choices actually affected my relationship level with someone. I wish if the first time I met Vess, I had a flirty response. She fucking hated it, but it didn't drop my relationship from 0 to less than 0. I just didn't gain any relationship. And that's just like, to me, I'm like, no, like it should have said like, yeah, she doesn't like that. You lost some points. Like everyone should start at a 50 and go up or down based on the conversation. That's how a dating sim should work. This one is just like everyone starts at 0 and you fill up a bar and then they're back at 0, but the 0 doesn't mean that they don't like you. It just means you now have another bar to fill. It's weird. It's a weird choice.
Yeah, that does seem weird.
Yeah, I mean, hopefully I should beat it like next week. I shouldn't take too long in this game. I'm probably gonna have it beat next week, but I want to get through it because like it's not, like I said, it's not bad. It's just it's not what I was hoping for. It's not what I was expecting.
That's kind of a bummer because like you actually did talk about this a bit.
Yeah, I thought it was silly, and and it is silly, but I thought it was gonna be like more silly in a sense of a dating sim would be, and it's like they didn't even focus much on like the combat. So you have your main attack, or you have your 3 attack buttons, X, Y, and A, if you're using an Xbox controller. And in order to attack, you open your radial wheel, which is right bumper, left bumper, left bumper. No, right. I can't remember. It's one of the bumpers. You open that up, and you then can assign your weapons or your tricks, which is like throw like a spike wall or like the normal Castlevania kind of thing, like throwing a holy hand grenade and stuff like that. Like you can assign them to one of the 3 buttons. So like for me, I have an attack, like my sword in X, another weapon in Y, and then just I'm switching out through my tricks, but I don't really use them because they're, besides the mouse dart, none of them are really all that good. Set to the B button, and then A is jump. You then have your skills, or I might have used the wrong name for it, but like the tricks and what do they call it? I know it doesn't matter. Yeah, tricks are the weapons, and then it's the death blows. No, they're not called death blows. But there's another special ability that you can have that gets assigned to right trigger. So in order to scroll through that, you tap right bumper. So it's left bumper to open a radial wheel to select your weapons and tricks and stuff. Right bumper to just scroll through. And at this point, I have 5 active abilities that I can use that all have their own separate reload timer that I can't easily get access to. So I'm just like tapping through, and if you miss it, you can't go back. You have to tap through it again. And so it's like, all right, well, maybe you could have, I don't know, maybe not have the game be both D-pad and control stick movement, and just have it be control stick, or just have it be D-pad, and let me use the control stick to assign these abilities to up, down, left, and right and stuff, so I can switch that way, instead of having to just tap through and, oh, I missed what I was looking for, so I gotta go through it again. Or just let me open a fucking menu and just let me hold the button to open a menu and set it up. It's just like, I'm like, you could have utilized these buttons better. Because then there's a dodge that I barely fucking use. If you die, nothing really matters. It just restarts you at the save point with everything that was dead already. Everything that you died or that you killed is still dead when it respawns you. You don't lose any progress. You don't lose anything. It just lets you retry from your save point. Which, like, all right, then there's no reason to worry about, like, dying. Because it's just going to let me respawn, and everything's going to be dead. So, what's the point? So it's like mechanics like that they probably could have done a little bit better on. I'm halfway through the game, and I finally got my double jump, which, God, it opens up the game more for getting certain secrets and things like that, which is nice. But now I have to go back through everywhere I've already been to get some of this shit. And it's like, all right. It's not very fast to get back to some of these places, even with the fast travel.
Yeah, this game doesn't sound. I don't want to say it sounds bad, but it doesn't sound good.
No, it's not bad, and it's not bad. I wouldn't say it's not good, but I would just say it's got flaws.
It sounds like the game has more flaws than not.
No, I feel like it is fun enough. Like, look, I think I only spent like $3 on it. How much is it? It's. I mean, actually, I didn't spend a lot on it. I know that much. It's $24.99 base, but it was on sale. I think I spent like $3 or $4 on it when I bought it. I know there's a way to check on Steam how much your recent purchases were. Purchase history. I spent a total on Celeste and Romancilvania $13. So Romancilvania, I bought it for $8. So like for $8, it's not a bad deal. For $30, which it is now, I wouldn't buy it.
Yeah, no, that seems, what you paid for it seems reasonable.
It is. It's a $10 game. It's not a $25 game.
Yeah, like that's
with the little bit of the jankiness and the script. This, in my opinion, the script issues and things like that. It's just like, yeah, it's not like, and the fact that, like I said, like your conversation points don't affect your relationship. Like, I would be a lot happier if, like, my relationship point, I didn't gain points from bringing my relationship up. I'd be a lot happier if, hey, I just properly romanced Vess enough that it brought my score up high enough. But if I said the wrong shit, it dropped it. That's how our dating sim should. And this is just, it's not, like, they tried to focus too much on the Metroidvania style that the dating sim, like, got hurt for it, in my opinion.
Yeah, it seems like it's an interesting idea.
Yeah.
And it, like, the execution just isn't there.
Yeah. Yeah, that's pretty much how it is.
Which, it happens.
Yeah.
I think that might be it for this week, though.
It is. It's it for me, at least. I mean, I'm sure there's more I could talk about, but we don't have to.
Good. Yeah, we're done.
Fine.
Getting out of here.
Fine.
So I may not be here next week because moving. I honestly don't know. Like, it all depends. I don't even know if we'll have, like, we're supposed to have internet the day we move in, but who really knows?
Yeah.
Plus, like, just unpacking and all that stuff. Like, what Tuesday is going to be, like, a lot. So, like, we're going to have a ton of stuff to do on Wednesday. So kind of got to play that one by ear, which means like I obviously I will reach out to you and Drew like offline, but we might end up pushing book club a week because I didn't think about it before, but yeah, that would fall on this Tuesday, or this next Wednesday, I should say. So,
Yeah, no, it's all good. It's all good. We'll figure it out.
And with that, if you'd like to find more of our content, you can head over to www.one-quest.com. You can also always help us out by supporting us. Patreon.com/OneQuest. If you can't support us there your dollars, though, you can go to your favorite podcast platform, Apple Podcasts, YouTube, Spotify, rate us, review us, subscribe to us. All of them help. You can also find us on social media, facebook.com/OneQuestOnline or at @1_Quest on Instagram and Twitter. And we're at one-quest.com on Blue Sky. You can also find our YouTube channel at youtube.com/OneQuestVideo. And always send us an email to social@one-quest.com. Now, Rich, what is your streaming looking like?
Check me out, twitch.tv/B_Walnuts for video game streaming, Monday, Tuesday, Thursdays, and Sundays. We'll be playing some more Slime Rancher, some more Sea of Thieves, some more Romancilvania, hopefully beating that soon. This Friday, the 24th, I am doing Lockdown Protocol, one of 2 Lockdown Protocol streams that I had planned. And then most likely on the 3rd, I'm doing some more Lockdown Protocol for my birthday. So if you want to come celebrate my birthday with me, because I really don't have anything else to do for my birthday, so it'll probably be just a long stream day. Definitely come hang out with that. And I will be real soon planning my my playthrough of my chat picks my build playthrough of Demon Souls. So
I forgot you were doing that.
Yeah, I still have to figure out how to put that all together. So that this way, like, we can have the build set up before. Maybe I'll do like a special stream, or I was thinking of doing some sort of like survey on Discord or something like that. And then while I'm live, I'll have channel points to where you can redeem to push my level ups in certain spots. But like, I don't want to leave it to like, hey, I can't level up until you tell me to, but like I want to have it set up in a way to where you tell me what I focus on and then I go from there, or you tell me what weapons to go for and I go from there. I don't 100% know how I'm going to do this. Like, maybe you tell me to have all heavy armor but like a magic based weapon. So then I have to go strength and magic, which is just like a crazy build combo, and it takes away my ability to have endurance. Or maybe you tell me to just use bow and arrows, which you can. I think there's 1 bow and arrow in that fucking game. So I have to just go all dexterity so that I can get the best damage in bow and arrows. I think it's only 1 bow and arrow, maybe a couple. Who knows? And so that's why I'm trying to figure out exactly how to do this. And so it's probably going to be some sort of like Survey Monkey type survey on Discord, but I might just start asking questions on Discord. And it's going to mean that I'm going to be adding everyone so that I can get like an idea. Like, hey, everyone, what do you think would be the best way? Hey, everyone, what's this? Like a lot of adding everyone's, a lot of questions within everyone from time to time. So I know people don't often really like the add everyone's, but I got to do it when it's a chat builds. So yeah, that'll be coming up very soon.
You add everyone a lot. We're used to it.
Look, it's primarily twice a day. There are 2 to 3 times a day. There's an at everyone, because there's an everyone every time I post a new YouTube video, and then there's an everyone for every streamer. No, it's actually an at here for every streamer that goes live besides myself. So if I'm going live that day and I only posted 1 YouTube video, it's only 2, unless I'm like making an announcement or whatever. So look, I have channels that I wake up in the morning that there's like 6 everyone in notifications.
Yeah, so
at night. So
it's really like the here ones, because technically, like, I have it on mobile, so like Discord is just always on. So like when I open Discord, I just have all the little red letters or red numbers next to that streaming self promo.
Well, the like the at here is like it's like, because you set it to at here because you can have people like not, like, they can choose to not be in there, And if I do an at everyone, they would still get the notification. But if I do an at
Can you
here,
turn off at here?
You might be able to turn off like notifications from that. You can turn off notifications from that channel, and you shouldn't get.
Yes and no. So I actually have it set. I have that channel muted actually, and I have notifications set to nothing. It still pings me with the at here.
Okay, but it doesn't do like a push notification. It's just
no, it's just the number on the thing, which like only annoys me because like if it's like legitimately, if it's you posting like an at everyone, I generally at least look at it. Like I click on it to see what you are saying, whether it's like even when it's just like your stream alert. I'm like, oh, I wonder what you're playing. Like I might not be able to watch it, but I at least like look to see what you're posting. I don't care about anybody else.
Yeah.
So it's one of those, it's like, oh, I guess Richie like posted something, and I come in here, I'm like, oh, right, no, it's this fucking channel. And I just like mark it as red to get the things to go away.
Yeah.
It's like nothing against any of those people. Like I think it's really just the one person, maybe two. It's mostly one person.
There's 5 people that it's set for. But generally only one of them goes live each day. Well, I mean, Alien will go live in the morning, and maybe either Cherry or Super Pack will go live, or even Zeta will go live in the afternoon and evenings.
Yeah, like nothing against them. Like that is not me like shitting on them. Like I just don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
Like I look at your stuff like because I know you. I don't care about their stuff.
Yeah.
So it's just one of those. It's like, oh, there's there. It says 2. What the fuck is Richie doing? Right. This he has this pinging too. I got to remember.
Yeah.
That. But yeah, cool. Well. If you enjoyed this, we'll be back next week with something else to talk about. Thanks for listening. Bye.
See yous.